These are no-bake mini pecan pie cheesecakes. These are the ultimate indulgence, whether it be for the holidays or for any season. With a buttery graham cracker crust, a creamy no-bake cheesecake filling, and a rich pecan pie topping, these are the perfect bite-sized treats for your next event, or even just for yourself and your family. So let's get into it. The first thing you're going to want to do is grab a muffin tin. Now this recipe makes 12 mini cheesecakes, so it's perfect with just one muffin tin. And you're going to line these with the muffin liners. And you're going to set these aside for a moment. Then you're going to want to weigh out your graham crackers. And if you have the whole graham crackers, you're going to want to finely crush them either in a blender or just put them in a Ziploc bags and bash them with a wooden spoon. And you're going to pour these into a medium-sized bowl. Then in that bowl, you're going to add your brown sugar and your cinnamon. And you're just going to want to give this a good mix so it's all nice and well combined. And once that's done, you're going to pour in your melted butter. And you're going to mix this until it's nice and combined and a consistent texture. Once that's done, you're going to grab your muffin tin. That's all ready to go. And you're going to pour about a heaping tablespoon into each muffin tin. And from there, you're just going to want to pat it down gently but firmly, making sure that it's all even at the bottom of the muffin tin. I like to use a rubber spatula just because it's easier and it's a little bit gentler. And you're just going to repeat this process for each muffin tin. So you're going to do this 12 times. And once that's done, you're going to set these aside in the fridge to let them cool and set. Now the second part of this is you want to make the no-bake cheesecake filling. So you're going to get yourself a medium or large size bowl. Ideally of a standing mixer. I did not use one here, but I wish I did. And you're going to add your softened cream cheese along with your lemon juice and your vanilla and your yogurt. And you're just going to beat this all together until it's nice and creamy. And this is the part where it's nice to use a standing mixer. I don't know why I decided to not use one on this day, but I guess it's just proof you can do this with your hands manually as well. And so you're just going to mix it until it gets that nice creamy texture. And then you're going to add in your maple syrup and you're going to mix this again until you get that nice creamy texture again. And once that's done, you're going to add in your powdered sugar. Now for this step, I do recommend using a sifter for the powdered sugar, just to make sure that there's no clumps because they can get stuck in the cheesecake filling mixture when you're mixing it in. So it just allows for that smoother consistency and you don't have to worry about it so much. But if you don't have a sifter, it'll taste just as good. And you're just going to mix this in together until it's nice and creamy and soft. And you're going to set this aside just for a moment. Now in a large or medium-sized bowl, you're going to pour in your heavy whipping cream. And you're just going to whisk this until you get stiff peaks. And once that's done, you're going to grab your cheesecake mixture and you're going to add in your whipping cream into the mixture. Now you do want to do this gently and incrementally because this is what's going to add that fluffy texture to the no-bake cheesecake. So you just want to gently fold it in and you don't want to add it all at once. You want to add a big spoonful at a time so that you're incrementally adding in the whipping cream, so that you're not whipping all of the air and the bubbles out of the whipping cream, which is what's going to give it that light, fluffy texture. And for this part, you definitely don't want to be using a standing mixer. So if you were using a standing mixer to beat your cream cheese previously, this part is really essential to do it manually with your hands and very gently. And once you've incorporated all of your heavy whipping cream into the cheesecake mixture, you'll get a nice creamy texture just like this. Oh my god, how good does this look? And it tastes exactly like a baked cheesecake. It's just so delicious. So from this point on, you're going to grab your muffin tins and you're going to pour 2 heaping tablespoons of the cheesecake mixture into each muffin tin. Now the texture of this cheesecake mixture is nice and light and fluffy, but it is stiff and it does hold its shape. So the best way to actually go about this if you want a flat top on each of these mini cheesecakes is to plop your 2 tablespoons into the muffin tin, kind of gently pushing it down as much as you can with your spoon. And then you're going to grab plastic wrap and put it on top of the muffin tin and just gently press down on each of the cheesecakes so that you get that nice flat layer and so that it's nice and even throughout your muffin tin. So just gently pressing down with that plastic wrap so it fills all the crevices, and then you're going to plop this in the fridge and you want to let it set for a few hours or ideally overnight. And once your no-bake cheesecakes have set and they've cooled in the fridge and you're ready to make the pecan pie filling or topping, should I say, you're going to grab a medium-sized pot and you're going to melt your butter on medium-low heat. And once it's melted, you're going to add in your maple syrup and just mixing it till it's combined. And then you're going to add in your brown sugar. Now you want to give this a good mix and really incorporate it so that it's a nice consistent texture. And you're going to leave this on the heat until it starts to bubble. But you do want to keep an eye out on it and you do want to keep mixing it consistently. So it's not something you just put on the stove and then you leave it. You definitely want to make sure that you're mixing it so that it's not burning and making sure that the sugar is melting and coming to a little bubble, not necessarily a boil. It'll look something like this. And once it starts bubbling, you're going to add in your cinnamon and your heavy cream, still leaving it on the medium-low heat and just giving this a good mix and really incorporating it. And you're going to leave this on the heat and mix it until it's nice and consistent and all of the cinnamon has kind of dissolved into the mixture. Because you can see here it's kind of clumpy. So you just want the cinnamon to even out in the mixture. And once that's done, you're going to grab your roughly chopped pecans and you're just going to pour them into this mixture and give it a nice mix, making sure all the pecans are nice and mixed into this. I mean, look at this. This looks so good. And once those are all incorporated, you're going to take this off the heat and you're going to add in your vanilla, give it a nice good mix. And the mixture is pretty much done at this point. So you're going to want to grab a medium-sized bowl and you're going to pour your pecan pie mixture into this bowl and you're going to let it come back to room temperature. So just letting it cool for at least half an hour or until you see that it's come to room temp. And you do want to mix it throughout this cooling process, just so that it doesn't create any clumps. But it will thicken as it cools and it'll look a little bit something like this. And once your pecan pie topping has cooled, you can grab your no-bake cheesecakes out from the fridge. You can try getting these out by taking off the saran wrap like this and just grabbing a knife and plopping them out. I do find this a little bit more challenging though because they are pretty soft. And you might lose a little bit of the shape of your cheesecake by doing this. So in the process, I actually found it easier to keep the saran wrap on and just flip it over like this on a flat surface and just grab the cheesecakes directly. But totally up to you, whatever your personal preference is. both ways work. You're just going to want to grab all of your cheesecakes out. And from here you can assemble them. So just plopping on a heaping tablespoon or even 2 tablespoons of this delicious pecan pie topping onto this no-bake cheesecake. It's so good. That cinnamon sugar with the pecan pie and a no-bake cheesecake that tastes exactly like cheesecake that has been baked, but easier, and that buttery graham cracker crust. These are seriously delicious. Guaranteed to be a hit at your next event or celebration, or even just with family. It really doesn't get any better than this. It's the ultimate indulgence and a must try. If you like this recipe, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments what kind of recipes you want more of. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.